Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Got a special deal for you just today only now. Happened yesterday too, but now we're down to the last day of it. So
is the manager out of town?
Manager's out. He's gone crazy.
Oh no!
We've taken over the establishment while he's gone.
Oh wow!
And so today you can get yourself a really nice year's subscription to the Blaze by going to blazetv.com/Pat, and then in the promo code you write Beast Mode.
Yeah, one word.
Beast Mode, and you get $30 off.
Yeah, you give them
today only.
We got to have your name, your email address, and then when it gets to the payment screen, that's when you see the apply promo code. Beast Mode, one word.
Beast Mode, $30 off.
Right.
And you're welcome. Then you'll be able to enjoy every single day the overtime. You know?
Yeah.
You won't be excluded from that anymore.
Yeah, yesterday.
Or anybody else's overtime. Everybody here does one.
Yesterday was an important overtime where you learned what nastiness is acceptable in your food supply from the FDA. And by the way, there was some question. They fixed this little glitch yesterday on the Beast Mode. You can gift a subscription to someone and apply that. So,
okay.
So they think you spent $100 or whatever. No.
Let them believe that. But you didn't.
Yeah.
There, I went to whisper mode there on you, like Joe Biden.
When you give it to them, take the tag off.
Take the tag off. Take the tag off. Yeah. Another thing we discussed on Overtime yesterday was it sounds like we're going to be able to watch Gone with the Wind over at your place on the big screen, right, Pat?
Wait, what?
Is that what it sounds like?
Huh. Well, I mean, that's what I picked up on.
That's interesting.
But you're not.
That's interesting. Is there a number of people can call, Ivan, about
There
that?
is.
The impression I had.
Yeah.
Is everyone invited?
I thought this was like a hypothetical if there was a helicopter that could deliver
Jeffy
you
can drive to your house. We discovered.
Oh, yeah, there's roads.
I would have to be
Jeffy's
helicoptered
house
in.
and mine, but yeah.
I'll rent a helicopter if it means I get to watch Gone with the Wind on the big screen at the Gray House. Yeah, sure.
Will ya?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll borrow Glenn's helicopter.
All right.
He needs one of those. That's like the only piece of transportation he doesn't have, right? A helicopter.
Yeah, probably.
Well, he has one at his disposal.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
You got a landing strip still over the Gray homestead?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'll just take a plane.
helipad.
Not from your airport.
I guess, Keith, you posted a poll yesterday about Joe Biden, right?
Oh, yeah, because we had talked about it's just so agonizing listening to the old man in the White House speak, Joe Biden. And so I thought, let's ask the audience.
So the question was, regardless of what's happening in the news,
right?
Should Pat Gray Unleashed, should this show go a full week without playing any Joe Biden clips?
Oh, wow.
Yes. Need Biden free week, or no, play clips if needed. And
by a score.
It was more than 2-1.
Yeah.
68.6 to 31.4.
Okay.
No, play the clips.
So is this particular poll a binding poll?
Yes, it is now. Because
a lot of people were saying that's the only way I can take the old man and know what's going on is to hear y'all talk about it.
That's why we do it. That's why we do what we do. We do it for you. Man. Speaking of which, there was a really fun clip from Joe yesterday.
Oh.
As there is almost every day.
Hello.
But this guy is such a senile, hideous old codger that he just goes off sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's almost frightening. It's
is.
like,
It's like, dude.
Are you all there? What is going on with you, right? Why are you so pissed all of a sudden? I mean, boom, just like that.
Right.
He goes 0 to 100 in a split second with his emotions. But here he is talking about his record.
Name me a single objective we've ever set out to accomplish that we've failed on. Name me one in all of our history.
Look at him.
Not one.
No, really?
Calm down. Look
Huh. Okay, well, let's see. Can I name one? God, that'd be hard.
One failure.
Afghanistan withdrawal. Okay, just off the top of my head.
Sure.
How about no inflation reduction? We still have inflation now. It's still 2 or 3 times as high as it was under Trump, even though it's come down from his 9% level of last year. The rising gas prices, which also contribute. I mean, they're sort of connected there.
Which, by the way, we've become just used to. It's just $3 a gallon now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
right.
between $3.30 and $3.70 or $3.80 now
Sucks.
for regular gas. But I mean, we're just used to it. It's going to be $3 a gallon.
So can we come up with another one though? America's credit rating was downgraded. Let's see. There's no peace in Ukraine. How about the border? The mess at the border with almost 3 million people crossing since he came into office. Wow. It's a catastrophe on the border. There's been a massive surge in crime. We've had supply chain problems, security issues with China, spy balloons. They've been threatening Taiwan's very existence. How about the COVID deaths? He himself said, you shouldn't be president if under your watch 200,000 Americans die. What was it, 1 million that died under his watch with COVID?
Oh, gosh.
He had far, far more than what he was complaining about Donald Trump over. The mask mandates, curtailing free speech on social media that they've worked with private companies to do. He was the first American president ever for Britain to censure. France withdrew their ambassador because of his screw-ups. Oh, and by the way, here's another initiative that he has failed on, at least so far. I'd love for him to come through with this, but he has not yet cured cancer.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he has not cured cancer.
He's also drained our National Petroleum Reserve, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, which takes years and years to replenish. So, yeah.
It's like there's
I can think of one thing.
Qualify as failures?
Yeah, I can think of one failure. I can think of one.
Well, maybe that's what he was going for. He was like, you can't just
name
think of
one.
one.
It's like Lay's potato chips.
Yeah.
No one can eat just one.
Oh, boy.
You can't name just one.
How dare you picking on this president, man?
How dare
How
I?
dare you picking on
It's
this
really
president?
easy, actually. That's how I dare. Really easily. Very, very
naming
easily.
all these things that he's struggling to
to
get
overcome,
to get right as president. Yeah.
Give him a minute to get this solved. Give him some time. He's working on it.
He's working
You want
hard
everything
on it.
fixed at once? Is that what you want?
I mean, he's accomplishing the ruination of the country. That's for sure.
He sure is. Yeah. I'll ask the question again. If you were trying to destroy the country, what would you do differently? You wouldn't need to do anything differently. He's showed you the formula, and he's executing it expertly. And I love this new Robert L. Peters thing we're hearing about now.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Isn't that great?
It's awesome.
So he had an alias.
He had an alias, and so this was finally revealed. That's why that when they were like James Comer, they were doing these freedom of information requests. They weren't finding as much as they anticipated.
Right.
Well, now they're waiting to see what they get back.
And
this treasure trove.
and he dared him, right? I mean, he said, "Where's the money?
Right.
Where's the money?"
Right. He did.
Okay. Well, here it is. This is the beginning of it, right here.
Yeah.
What's the better political alias? You'll remember Carlos Danger.
Right, my man Anthony Weiner.
Anthony
Love
Weiner.
him.
Do you
Who's
guys
still
remember?
hanging around, by the way?
Yeah.
I just saw an interview by him.
Weiner's hanging around. Pierre Delecto. Do you guys remember who that was?
Oh, Delecto.
Was that Mitt Romney?
Mitt Romney on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we've got Robert L. Peters.
I bet there has to be more, right? I mean, if you're a crime family,
And they are.
there's
And
absolutely
it
more
is.
names that he used. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, and there was a separate email address or something set up, I think,
Yeah.
and had
That's
at
how they
least
communicated
10,
with
yeah.
him. Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Man. Isn't he great? Isn't he great? He and the whole family.
Did you turn into my mother all of a sudden?
So-
Bless his heart.
So is it fair to say
Bless his
that Robert L. Peters is the worst president of all time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
That's where we're at.
There's no question in my mind that he's the worst.
By the way, another fun fact to add to his list of failures. The United States, we lost $5.9 trillion in wealth last year based on our new cost of living, et
So
cetera.
essentially $6 trillion.
Yeah.
$6 trillion in wealth. Good. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, they don't want wealthy people, so that's another thing they're accomplishing.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's great. Man, if we could just get rid of all wealthy people in this country, think of what a better place
They're trying. They're trying. I think that the next question, now that this bomb is dropped, that he was using an alias, fake email accounts, or separate email accounts, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Trump news going to be today? Are we going to have another indictment?
Something.
Are we going to?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
something's happening today.
Arizona's already, dropped their toe in the water.
There you go.
To go ahead and indict him in Arizona. Okay. So
that's really bad. The states getting involved in this is bad. That's not good because he can't be pardoned from that, and it makes it more likely that something along the line is going to stick.
Right.
Out of 91 charges.
Whether it's right or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't think it's right. Of course it's not right. I mean, it's asinine. Right. When we've shown you the evidence of the Democrats, one after another, doing the exact same thing they're accusing him of and trying to put him away for.
I know.
Election manipulation or whatever. 150 times we've... that's just what we have on that montage. 150 times Democrats saying that the election was illegitimate. It's a fraud. He's not really the president. Over and over and every time they lose. That's what they say. Every time. So it's agonizing. It really is.
And he claimed he was going to, another release the Kraken moment, right? He said he had all this information that he was going to dump
coming up on Monday.
But he pulled out of that.
Right.
He pulled back from that, so the Kraken will not be released. You can take it. He's going to let his attorneys take care of it.
The attorneys need more time. Yeah.
Jeez.
I hope he has it. I hope he has what he says.
Did you see this?
I want him to have it.
Speaking of Trump, did y'all see this in the National Review? I thought this was odd. Let's see. So DeSantis campaign stuff got leaked yesterday, right? And it said, basically, don't go after Trump, go after Vivek. But anyhow, there was this article there in National Review that said DeSantis campaign vehicles tested various anti-Trump messages with voters and found that they were entirely ineffective. For example, when Republican voters were confronted with an anti-COVID lockdown message, 70% agreed with that message. But when those same voters were asked to register their opinions on Trump's COVID-related lockdowns, 70% of Republican voters flipped on a dime and expressed their undying admiration for lockdowns. What the hell?
Yep.
Well, yeah, because
that's what happens.
I can't
that's what happens.
That's because it was Trump.
Yes. The weirdest phenomenon I've ever seen. I didn't think that applied to people on the right.
Golly.
But we found out in 2016 it does.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating. Yep. That is frustrating.
Very much so.
How about
Very
lockdowns suck? I don't care who's in power at the time of them.
Right.
Can we not land there?
You can still like the guy. You can still vote for him. You can still support him. But you don't have to agree with him on every issue.
Be honest
you could
with
take
yourself.
issue with him on something, couldn't you? But they don't.
They don't.
The hardest core of Trump supporters just don't.
Nope.
Everything's fine.
That's
Everything's
Donald
fine.
Trump.
Yeah. I mean, even up to and including, when he excuses like George Soros, leave him alone. It's George. Really? Leave George Soros alone? Okay.
As extreme as
I mean, we wanted the lock her up was all part of it, and I mean it was immediate, right? You guys get now. I didn't mean that.
As extreme as TDS is, Trump derangement syndrome, where the left just loses their mind on anything that involves Donald Trump. Equally as strong is the TES, Trump excuse-making syndrome, and so that his supporters will make an excuse for everything. I'm not going there. No, the something that is wrong, lockdowns, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Whoever is in charge, whoever's making the decisions, that's who's responsible.
The mandates are not right.
Yeah. And I realize that the
no matter
states
who's
made
doing
the
them.
mandates and blah, blah, blah.
They did. And
you
in the beginning,
gave the last year of your presidency to Dr. Fauci.
Absolutely.
Who therefore was the mouthpiece to the states, who bowed and worshipped everything he said. Could have stepped in, man, and saved it.
At that point, he could have stepped in. In the beginning, we give him a break in the beginning because nobody knew really what was going to happen. We shouldn't have had the lockdowns, but
when he trusts his instincts, he does well. And his instinct, Donald Trump, early on was by Easter. It was in April. We're done with this.
We got to be done with this.
But he didn't hold to that.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
it's too bad. Yeah, it would have been great.
Yes,
had he done
it would
that.
have been.
Yeah. Also, Rowdy Introvert put together the KJP A Breathing Room montage for us. I love this because we were just talking before the show about how bad she is.
It's terrible.
You have to be embarrassed, even if you're a Democrat, even if you're a Biden lover, don't you? That she is the spokesperson for this administration when she's so bad at it.
I mean, she can't even, let alone, the off-the-cuff comments where she's just
she can't even read the stuff that's
she has the great big book of everything in front of her, and she can't even read it.
Right. And still we get this.
It's been a devastation, as we have seen. You just mentioned the loss of life.
The loss of life. This is maybe my favorite certainly of the week.
Senator Herrino, who I said the president spoke to just last night.
Right.
He thanked the president.
He thanked okay, you got one job. Right? You're talking about Hawaii right now. You know you're going to be asked. There are a whopping 2 senators from Hawaii. You don't know either one of them? Who they are, what gender they are, how to say their names, none of that.
Hawaii only gets 2 senators?
Yeah,
Is that
they only
because
get
of
2
the island
because they're so
thing?
teeny.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they're way off the coast of
Right.
the mainland.
Well, you should know them.
So they only
You
get
should
2.
know them. There's only 2 of them.
You should know them. That's
your job. And
seriously.
Plus, and the misgendering. I mean,
yeah,
I feel like she should be canceled.
Yes. Yes,
I feel like she should be canceled for misgendering like that.
But here's the montage of a breathing room, and it goes a little something.
I like this.
And we're looking for a plan. This is a plan that the president put forth to move things forward, right? To continue to help Americans who need a little bit of a breathing room, as you hear the president speak to. Now, you've often heard the president talk about giving families a breathing room, as the president says, a little bit more of a breathing room. Giving the American people a little bit more of a breathing room. Giving American middle-class Americans a little bit of a breathing room.
A little bit of a breathing room.
A little bit more of a breathing room. The American people really, truly need a little bit of a breathing room. He wants to make sure that he's giving American families a little bit more of a breathing room. This is another way to make sure that we are giving Americans a little bit more of a breathing room. He wanted to make sure that the American people, as he says, has a little bit of a breathing room. Right? To make sure that the American people are not are being given a little bit more of
number
a breathing
12.
room. What we're trying to do, what the president is trying to do for the middle class, again, give them a little bit of a breathing room.
Give breathing them room. 14.
Bit more of a breathing room. A little bit of a
15.
breathing room. This is part of giving people a little bit more of a breathing room. This, again, will give them a little bit more of a breathing room.
Like
and our agenda has been to make sure that the American people get a little bit breathing room. Again, this is about giving relief, a little bit of breathing rooms. Again, 90% of these folks are making less than $75,000 who need a little bit more of a breathing room. This program is going to give tens of millions of Americans across the country a little bit of a breathing room to help the American people, continue to give them a little bit of a breathing room. And the fact that you see folks out there in Republican states that are making it very hard for us to do that, for us to give a little bit of a breathing room.
To give a little bit of a breathing room.
It's a shame that you have Republicans out there, Republican groups, Republican states that are trying to stop Americans from getting a little bit of a breathing room, a little bit of break.
So bizarre.
Wow.
That is so bizarre.
24 documented times. Good job, Rowdy Introvert, who
thank you for that.
Runs
That's awesome.
the show at patheads.com. That's where you can find that montage if you'd like to go back and listen.
And share it with your friends and family.
I mean,
because it's so impressive.
At some point, you'd think after what
somebody
like a dozen, I'll give her a dozen.
Right.
And
somebody says, "Hey, by the way, it's breathing room, not a breathing room."
Hey, Dinkelschmitz, you never heard of this phrase?
Dinkelschmitz.
I know it's
What do we do? It's incredible. I know. Yep. You just.
But 24
times
and still.
Mind numbing.
And still
saying a little bit of a breathing room. Like honestly, it's a place where you go to breathe.
I don't know.
I just don't know.
Nobody talks in that White House. They don't communicate. They just print up directives and
that's got to be it.
Give your marching orders. There's no. And by the way, KJ, before you go out there to the press, it's between me and you. It's breathing room. It's not a breathing. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Right?
What is that?
Right.
What
I mean, is it? It's unconscionable that nobody takes her aside to say that. And if they do, and she still can't get it through her head, that's a problem.
That's a bigger problem.
Okay.
Which that very well may be the case.
Go home, hon. Go home.
That may be the case.
It might be the case. Because it's hard to imagine that nobody has said, hey, by the way, you know this breathing room thing? That's it's like giving people space to breathe. Right. It's not a place where you go to breathe.
Don't I feel the fool?
Yeah, well, you should. Apparently you don't, but you should. It's not a place where you go to breathe.
In your bank account, and you think, oh, okay, I can pay some bills. I have some breathing room. That's what it is. You get
that
it now?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So put that in your little great big book of everything, and trot your little dinkle dick out there and go. I just can't believe it.
A little bit more of a breathing room.
It's just incredible to me.
It is. It is.
Hey, Jeffy, you're on social media.
I am at Jeffy JFR.
At Jeffy JFR.
On X.
X? Oh, no. No. On Twitter.
Let's go.
Anyway, have you downloaded Tribal?
No, I have not.
Tribel. Are you familiar with that?
No, I got so many social media
Tribal
sites
is the new liberal alternative to Twitter now. That's going to take off.
Tribal. Oh, of course it is.
I mean, I thought that's what Threads was.
Bro. So Tribal. Be sure to get yourself an account over at Tribal.
I will have to look into it.
For liberal echo chambers.
Oh, you got to love that.
I will have to look into it.
That'll be so great. All our liberal friends hanging out there talking about white supremacy and climate change. Won't that be fun?
But I bet that's where people like KJP will be hanging out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, they've got a little bit of a breathing room over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes it really nice. And you can talk about the loss of lives while you're there.
There you go.
And some of these devastations that we have.
Oh, that official.
So many.
Or the catastrophic catastrophes that we've been putting up with. You know?
The guy who chose not to sound the alarms for the fires in Maui has resigned.
He's gone. We lost him.
What was his justification? I didn't want people running inland.
Well, we sound the alarms when there's a volcano going off or a tsunami, right? So they have to go to high ground.
Okay.
And we thought people would just run toward the fires.
What in the hell?
Good safety tip. Thank you for not then sounding the alarm.
But so they see the fire, and he thinks they're going to run toward it if they hear an alarm as well?
You know, when the sirens go off where we live for the tornadoes, what I do is I get into my car and drive directly for the tornado. I try to get right to it. That's what I normally do.
I will say, you're supposed to, find shelter.
Really?
When those go off.
No, you're not supposed to go directly to the tornado?
I will say that what I do is go outside.
Huh.
Do you?
Yeah.
When the sirens go off, and I seriously, I just go outside. Like, is it really? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening out here?
That's good.
It's not really what you're supposed to do.
What I do is I look at the clock, and if it's 1 o'clock on a Wednesday and I go, oh, it's the first of the month.
Right.
Then I realize, okay.
Right. Have you ever been driving by one of those? At 1 o'clock in the afternoon when they first start up?
Right there.
What the?
Yeah. But speaking of Hawaii, this audience has really stepped up through Mercury One. Last I saw, Glenn tweeted, I think last night, $700,000 raised that are going to help the victims. So mercury1.org/donate if you're able to help.
And they could use more, obviously. So, yeah, if you can help, please do. Spam is helping out. I'm not sure this is helping. Is it helping if you're sending spam? Is that helpful?
Spam, Hawaii is like one of the number one places for spam.
Oh, wow.
It's like one of the number one?
I think it is.
How many number one places are there?
That's
for
a Joe
spam?
Biden
I don't
quote.
know.
That's a Biden quote.
I don't know. It is.
It's like one of the number one places.
More of a breathing room.
It is.
Or a KJP line, even. Yeah.
Spam Hawaii. I think it is.
I don't think he heard what we heard.
I don't think he's getting my point there, but that's
so it's one of the number one places.
It's one of the number one
and
places. Because there's so many number one places.
It's adopted into the local
That's why
culture.
they call it number one, because there's a lot of...
I'm not playing your little silly game. It's the number one thing.
Yeah, so we're sending spam over there, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Canned Meat Spam has announced it's partnering with humanitarian organization Convoy of Hope to send food to Hawaiian residents who've been affected by the fires, obviously. We've been at a loss for words, seeing the devastation that's happening on Maui, they wrote. To our ohana on Maui, we see you and we love you. We've been working with our trusted partners on how we can help. We will continue to stay connected with our partners on the islands and ask all our fans to continue to surround Maui with support and love. That's really nice, though. It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, they're sending what they can.
Yeah.
And that's
spam. And that's spam.
You know, I've heard...
It's pork shoulder and ham. It should be delicious.
Yeah, I haven't...
My dad loved it.
I haven't verified this, Pat, but I've heard that spam is one of the number one...
One of the number one things in Hawaii that they like. Yeah, one of them.
That they like.
That's a fact. I don't know why you keep saying it, because it's a fact.
It's not...
It's one of the number one things.
Just one of them.
It's been a devastation.
The best. Also, RFK Jr. was at the Iowa State Fair, and an NBC reporter asked him about his stance on abortion. Ooh, didn't go away. I mean, I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was a pretty good answer, and it didn't sound very Democrat Party.
Which is the problem for him.
Right.
Yeah. So after that video made the rounds, RFK's campaign responded.
Yeah, let's see this video answer here.
Would you sign a federal protection to protect the rights that were in the Roe precedent if you were president?
I believe that a decision to abort a child should be up to the women during the first 3 months of life.
So you would cap it at 15 weeks?
Yes.
Or 21 weeks?
Yeah, for 3 months.
So 3 months. You would sign a federal cap on that?
Yes, I would.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So not unlimited access to abortion, as many in the Democratic Party.
I think the states, once a child is viable outside the womb, I think then the state has an interest in protecting that child.
That's 21. 20,
and, I think that the state has an interest at every level, but at some point, I don't, I'm for medical freedom. I think individuals ought to be able to make their own choices.
Which is why I'm surprised to hear you say you'd cap it.
Well, because, I think at some point you'd say, the state, I would personally not. I think the states have a right to protect a child once the child becomes viable. That right increases. And I think there's very, very few abortions that are performed after that period of time anyway. Most abortions are performed during the first 3 months of life, and I think that's what...
Wow.
I feel I fought harder than anybody in this country for medical freedom.
Medical freedom. For medical freedom.
So he's stuck between a rock and a hard place there.
Is
between his true feeling and the Democrat Party line.
That's the least confident he has ever looked by far on giving any kind of answer to anything.
In the middle of it, he realized.
Yep. He's like, crap, this is not what my constituents are going to want to hear.
This is not the party line.
They don't want to place any limits on abortion at all, ever.
So what happened after that clip started making the rounds?
So, of course, his campaign started backpedaling like crazy.
Whoa.
Who was that?
Jeez.
No, he didn't mean that.
Mr. Kennedy misunderstood a question posed to him by an NBC reporter in a crowded, noisy exhibit hall at the Iowa State Fair. His position on abortion is that it is always the woman's right to choose. He does not support legislation banning abortion at any point, any time, for any reason, of course.
In fact, he believes as long as you're under 30, kill him.
If your mom, well, it's the woman's right to choose.
Right.
So if a woman in your life chooses that you should then be aborted, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Your life is not viable. Sorry.
No, sorry. I guess we're not going to let you live outside the womb.
That was a wild ride there, RFK.
Really was. Wow. I'm afraid that I've got some tweets here. Of course, I'm not afraid because, as you know,
fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Wait, I thought
yes,
hate.
Yes. 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 No. No. Yes. No. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's good.
There you go. That's good. So I'm not afraid anymore of the tweets. Baby Seal Outfitters tweeted, KJP is a perfect spokesman or spokesperson for the Biden administration. She directly reflects how incompetent the entire administration is.
It's been a devastation.
It has.
That's kind of true because there's a lot of people in this administration that are
incompetent. You think?
Less than good.
No, suboptimal, if you will. I would say everyone in this administration fits that
it sure
description.
feels that way.
Everyone. Yes. So good. Hildy Krish. Bring back Jen Psaki. At least she was a lot better a communicator. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, we had the little, the sexual tension between her and Peter at the business. It was fun. It was worth it.
Right.
A daily soap opera.
Yeah.
Conservative Conserver tweeted, it's not that no one in the White House corrects KJP for a breathing room faux pas. It's that no one in the White House ever actually listens to her.
That's fair.
Ever. That could well be, but maybe, just maybe, they should. Just check in on how she's doing from time to time.
Once in a while.
She's the face of the administration, really, and the voice of the administration. You would think they would have some concern over how she's presenting.
And she was right there. I mean, when Joe said he didn't have a comment, did we play? I forgot how many Biden clips we played, but did we play him saying no comment on Hawaii today? We played that, right?
We didn't play it today, but we played it.
All right.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
where he had no comment.
But there's a new one where they asked him where he said he's going to go on Monday.
Oh.
We don't have that.
Okay.
But he says no, and then he says he's going Monday.
Yeah, he said, do you have a comment on Hawaii now? And he says, no. Well, we're going to go on Monday.
How can you not have a comment
just say
on
something.
Hawaii? How is it possible?
We're not asking you.
It's unbelievable. It truly is unbelievable. I don't understand.
It's like guilty conscience much. It's like, do you think we're asking you some? Is there some connection there? It's going to come out. There's some connection between Hunter and Hawaii, right?
Something,
because there's something going on.
It's
in
like
his
we're
brain.
blaming him,
right?
So he won't comment on it. And that's not even the case.
No, but she was. What started this is that in that clip, KJP is right there right on his side, just right there. And I thought, well, maybe why didn't she just step in and say, "We're gonna, we'll talk." He cares about Hawaii. Nothing.
No. Nope. Well, I think it'd be bad if she spoke for him in that time. He can't even speak for himself on this. It's the weirdest thing.
It's really weird. I honestly don't understand why he can't just say, "Do you have any comment on Hawaii now?"
We are devastated.
No, I'm going to go on Monday. Our prayers are with all the families. I'll see them on Monday.
We don't have that clip, right?
No, we can.
It's just unbelievable to me why he can't.
I know.
Why is that so difficult?
I'll find it.
I think he was rushing to get away from everybody because I'm not wearing. Why am I not wearing any pants?
And maybe that's it. Maybe
right
KJP was standing next to him, going, "No, bro,
I'm not
you gotta
wearing
go.
any
You're
pants at all." So,
boy, that would have been.
That's bad. Is it or is it good? Why am I not? Who dressed me today? Is my sister Jill here? All right. So, Mark Levin had an issue you might remember with Target.
Yeah.
Like Glenn had a weird issue recently with not just Target, but then all of a sudden his podcasts were all removed from Apple.
It was a
then they
glitch.
put some of them back. I don't know where that stands right now. If they're all back up but like almost 2,000 episodes were back yesterday.
Right.
But there's something like, I don't know, 2,500 more, 1,500 more that need to get up. And maybe they have by now.
Yeah, there feels like a concerted effort. See if you guys can go
it's just a glitch.
Go out on a limb with me here, guys. Conservatives are targeted.
Seems like that. Mark Levin just tweeted, Facebook and Instagram have blocked my book from being advertised on their sites because of the title. Just another example of their censorship. Maybe I'll put the book in Chinese and ask the Chinese regime to post it. In which case, Zuckerberg would not dare block it. By the way, I'd be happy to meet you in a UFC ring anytime. little fella.
You believe this, Mr. Producer?
It's funny.
It's really funny.
Speaking of Target, they've actually admitted that this whole controversy has hurt them. They're down 5.4%, I think, in sales.
Yeah, what the
since
last
it came
quarter,
out. Yeah. So billions of dollars worth of earnings lost because of their stance of trying to sell trans and gay products to little kids. Man. During a Wednesday earnings call, Target addressed their first quarterly sales decline in years, attributing the drop in part to the negative reaction to its Pride collection. That surprises me. I'm surprised they admitted it.
Well, they've been listening to the guest feedback, Pat.
Yeah, there's some interesting quotes in that.
Yeah. Target executives stated that the controversy over its pro-LGBT collection contributed to a dip in sales. CEO Michael Fidelki noted traffic and top-line trends were affected by the reaction to our Pride assortment. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's probably true. The retailer faced boycotts, of course. Some of the merchandise were tuck-friendly bathing suits for biological males identifying as females, LGBT-related baby apparel, and clothing designs with satanic themes. I mean, why?
Why?
Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? The CEO added that the blowback would not deter Target, though, from celebrating Pride Month in 2024.
Of course not.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but they're going to do it. They're going to do it slightly different with a more focused assortment, and we'll evolve our store and digital presentations, and we're going to reconsider the mix of our national brands with our external partners. What that means, one of the things that they're really struggling with is that their new deal was they got rid of a lot of high-end merchandise from other companies and moved in Target merchandise.
Wait, Target had high-end merchandise?
Well, here's the thing. No. But Target had their own merchandise.
Okay.
So, like, if you went there to purchase some kind of what's the big blender company? Whatever the blender company is.
Blenders Are Us, I believe.
Yes.
Who you're thinking of?
Yeah. They didn't have it. You'd have to get the Target brand.
Okay.
And this was like, so people were like, hey, why can't I? What happened to your choices? So they're going to have a little bit more choices. And he also said, the CEO talked about, we're concerned about customers that view Target as their happy place. And we're going to do what we can to lean into that expectation.
So Target's like an entertainment destination
That's their
now?
happy place. It's
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's your happy place.
Whatever.
And they also mentioned how shoppers threatened staff and destroyed Pride-themed merchandise and displays. That hurt the second quarter earnings as well.
And by the way, they did eventually sell Mark Levin's book, right? They moved.
I think they do sell it now, yeah.
I believe so.
I think so, yeah. But the pushback contributed to a $14 billion loss in Target stock. Yeah. $14 billion. Also, their earnings report revealed the second quarter comparable sales dropped 5.4%, which I said, but digital sales declined 10.5%. Wow. So, yeah,
a lot of money.
They're feeling the effects.
Yeah, a lot of money. I refuse to shop there until they paint those Target balls out front.
Rainbow
with
color?
the rainbow flag. Yeah. Those
it's despicable they haven't done that yet.
Personally, it is.
Yeah. Why can't you get into the spirit of it's Pride Year. For my money, it's Pride Year.
Thank you.
That's it? Just a year?
Yeah. Well, okay, decade. All right, century. It's Pride Century.
Pride Century.
Right. So
I think that's a good place to land. Pride Century.
I want Target to be my happy place.
Yeah.
Wait, did they dim the lights like Walmart does?
Oh, I don't know if they. Oh, I think they do. I think they do have some quiet time shopping.
Well, you don't want sensory overload, do you?
No, you do not. You want it to be your happy place.
Yeah, you do.
They want to lean into those expectations.
So for people who can't afford Disney World, there's always Target.
Hello.
Right? That's great. All right. Let me tell you about buying and selling a home. If you're doing it on your own, you're probably doing it wrong. Seriously. You need a really good realtor. And we can make you a great suggestion with realestateagentsitrust.com. These are the people who know what they're doing. They know the market. They're with buyers and sellers all the time. So they really know the market. We've checked their track records. They're successful in this business, and they do it full time. They're really committed to it. They'll see you through all the way the whole process, start to finish. Make sure you get the most for your home, or make sure you get the most home for your money. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
It sure is. And thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You have a Fat Five today, Jenny? No? Looks like you're completely...
No, I was watching one of the TVs that we have on here has the founding member.
Yeah, Lonnie Jordan.
From War on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I would be,
Why can't we be friends?
I would like to hear what I was hoping to.
Yeah. You were hoping to watch TV while we're doing the show.
You know, we got a show happening right
now. Sorry to interrupt.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
You know what? Would you like an animal video to distract you from that, Jeffy? Since I know you love the animal video so much. No? Oh, that's too bad.
I think he needs to be punished with one anyway.
All right, fine.
All right, what is it?
The clip 5. Because like moms need time away from
the audience. By the way, I apologize for getting.
This is your fault.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Moms need time away from their kids. You know, you gotta have like a mom's day out or whatever. I mean, the kids wear you down.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a mama dog who's trying to go and just, chill out somewhere away from her puppies. And then the puppies try to follow her, and she ain't having it. This is cute. Watch this. Get back in there. Scared them all right back in. That was a good job of parenting.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. I mean, that's adorable. Get back in there. I got things to do without you.
And they did.
That was cute. Jeffy would have liked it if he had looked up at the screen.
No, it was funny. It was great.
It was good
wonderful.
stuff, right?
Yeah, it was
What about rock skipping? People have been sending me
So-
some rock skipping videos.
So I did
too.
see. Okay,
We got a rock
skipping
skipping.
videos.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
I was going to tell you a story.
Okay.
The Fat Five.
Oh, I look forward to that. No, I look forward to it. This rock skipping was sent to me, and I posed the question: is this real or is it CGI? And I think what really threw me off was that it looks like it was sped up. Maybe. What do you think about this here? Okay. Boom. I mean, look at that. Right? I mean, that's impressive. Golly.
Yeah.
Right. So the consensus was it was real. It was just sped up. And then somebody then sent me this next video, which I think is the world record of rock skipping. I mean,
this guy set the record for the longest stone skip.
Nice. Watch this. This is...
Wow.
He almost made it to the other side of that pond.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's very
awesome.
cool.
That's cool. I was watching, remember during the COVID thing? ESPN was so hard up.
Yeah, they were
for sporting events.
The one from Mackinac Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Michigan event. And I guess it's one of the big rock skipping competitions in the country.
When you think of rock skipping, you think of Mackinac Island.
You do.
How many skips is the longest?
The one that won that competition, if I remember correctly, was something like 53.
It was a lot.
53 times the rock skipped, which is outrageous.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
If I get 3, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, when you get that extra toot, those extra 3 at the end, you're like, that was 7.
Wow.
88 is the
88?
What?
Wow.
Oh yeah, you gotta have the special rocks though, man.
Special rocks.
Yeah,
special rocks. Where do you get
those special
Where do you
rocks,
get special
man?
rocks?
Well, you get them from the special beaches.
Where are the special beaches here?
He doesn't want to give away all his secrets, right?
No.
He's got competitions to win.
No, thank you.
All right, you had
because
something
you saw the
for,
guy, the original video that you played that guy was put up there. He had this little rock sack.
He had a rock sack?
You can write your own jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had his
right around his waist.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's out looking for his special rocks, man. He's getting them.
I'd like to see that at regular speed.
Yeah.
Because that might be even further
close
than
to
the other
world
one.
record.
That's really far.
That's interesting.
Look at that. That's impressive.
That is.
Joe's trying to make it go regular speed for us, see? I don't know if that's working.
All right.
I just wanted to let you know that Chick-fil-A is set to debut a new chicken sandwich at the end of the month. What? So be ready for that. It's the honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich.
Ooh, sounds risky.
It sure does.
Pimento, I don't like pimento cheese.
Jalapenos, and honey.
No.
Oh,
no, thank you.
It's going to come at the end of the week. I don't know, man.
No, I do know.
Does not.
No. No.
I mean, I don't even like the pickle, to be honest.
I always request the pickles to stay off of the sandwich. No pickles, please.
Yes, I want the chicken sandwich with American cheese. No pickle.
No pickles. Yeah. And if they leave the pickles on and you get that pickle stain on the bun, I hate
the flavor's still there.
It's
still there. You can't get rid of it.
Nasty pickle.
You can't get rid of it.
You don't like pickle residue.
Plus, another thing that Chick-fil-A has done that has kind of irked me, as long as we're picking on Chick-fil-A, is that the shakes, you can't. They don't have the large shakes anymore.
What?
They just have one size, which is the
you're
smaller,
kidding.
medium size.
Oh
of
no!
The shakes.
What a ripoff!
And it's very frustrating when I get the chicken sandwich. When I go to Chick-fil-A, I expect a large shake.
Right.
It's not available. They only have the one size.
Wow.
Now, which is like almost. I mean, to me, it's a small, but it's probably their
That's
medium
wrong.
size, but it's one size.
That's
right?
Wrong. That's wrong.
I know. That's un-American.
It is.
And now they're trying to force this pimento cheese, honey thing down.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
So Hogasm just tweeted out Jeffy's little rock sack Twitter handle coming in 3, 2, 1. Love it.
I told you to write your own jokes.
Oh,
you're welcome.
That's right, Mama.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm out looking for my special rocks.
All right. 888-933-93. We got more coming up.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Welcome to it. All right. 888-933-93. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Controversy surrounding Donald Trump once again. Today, I guess they're trying to get Arizona, and I do believe it's the feds trying to get Arizona to charge him.
Yeah.
To indict him for whatever he said and did with Arizona after the election. They're trying. I mean, they got it in Georgia. They'll try to get it in Arizona, Wisconsin, Nevada. I mean, wherever.
Yeah, I'm surprised Michigan hasn't come to the table on that either.
They probably will. They probably will. But so, former President Trump truthed out a little something.
It's more awkward
about the election.
Yeah, let's see.
And
what do we got?
It looked a little something like this. A large, complex, detailed, but irrefutable report on the presidential election fraud, which took place in Georgia, is almost complete and will be presented by me at a major news conference at 11 a.m. Monday of next week in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Yeah, he's backed off on that.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, that's already.
He's not going to do that.
He's going to let his lawyers take care of that later.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All right.
But you're not at the controversial part yet.
No, I'm getting there. Based on the results of this conclusive report, all charges should be dropped against me and others. There will be a complete exoneration. They never went after those that rigged the election. They only went after those that fought to find the riggers.
Okay. They only went after those that fought to find the riggers.
The riggers.
Those who
the
rigged
people who rigged the election.
Okay.
Those are the riggers.
Think everybody understands that he's talking about
the riggers.
The people that
rigged.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, Al Sharpton apparently doesn't understand.
Oh.
And here's what he had to say.
Okay.
And the racial language. I mean, this woman to call a federal office or call a judge's chambers talking about to a slave using a word that rhymes with the N-word. Donald Trump himself, their leader, using the term riggers, which clearly rhymes with the N-word. I mean, this is not 10 years ago or 30 years ago when we marched against him on the Central Park Fire. I'm talking about within the last 24 hours used the term riggers. Is this the kind of party the Republicans want to show the country that they are? There's no wonder independents are running away from them. To identify with blatant racism and blatant violence is not the party that we need. And I've never been a Republican, never leaned their way, but we need a two-party system. But we don't need one that prides itself in bigotry.
Yeah, and Trump has used, of course, that racist and inflammatory language for so long and only leading into it further as he's dealing with.
I mean, that is jaw-dropping stupidity right there.
Do you know that Donald Trump once used the word bigger?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He also said that things have a tendency to trigger.
Whoa. Oh, no.
From time to time.
Martin, what's the dump on?
He's also said that some people are diggers.
Whoa.
They dig things.
No, this isn't good.
Some of the riggers have been diggers in the past. That's what he said.
Some of the riggers have been diggers?
Those things rhyme with a word you can't say.
Are you kidding me?
Just when you think the world can't get more absurdly insane.
They're all like, yep, right,
right,
man. That's racism. He's done this blatant racism before.
Thanks for coming on.
He's really been leaning into it more lately.
Gosh. Okay, that is. Oh my gosh. How are you people still on the air?
I don't know.
How is it possible?
I don't know. They keep that was a Morning Joe segment without Morning Joe, but they keep bringing him back on there, man.
Quote: White folks was in the caves while we blacks was building empires. End quote. That's an Al Sharpton quote there.
Oh wow! Nice.
Here's another one
That's
from
nice.
Al Sharpton. So if some cracker come and tell you, well, my mother and father blood go back to the Mayflower, you better hold your pocket. That ain't nothing to be proud of. That means their forefathers was crooks. End quote.
Oh wow!
Wow. Oh,
okay.
Here's another quote from Al Sharpton. I don't know if I want to read this one. If it's about Jews, yeah. No. So anyway, Al Sharpton, boy, you're one to talk.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
I mean, he's so smart.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
And
not a racist at
such
all.
a way with words.
Wow. Larry Elder just appeared on Charlamagne's show. And this is the kind of stuff we need from people.
I love it.
Just setting the record straight, setting these idiots straight, pointing out their hypocrisy and their racism. Watch Larry Elder hold Charlamagne accountable for having Joe Biden on his show and fawning all over him and not doing anything about the things that he said.
Right. And notice as Charlamagne asks this question, he's really trying to set up Larry Elder. He thinks he's going into for the kill shot here on Elder, and Elder just flips this around immediately.
It's brilliant.
It's so well done.
Watch this.
Have you ever heard the term wake-up call?
N-word wake-up call.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Brother.
Pause it for a second. Okay, so obviously, like Keith said, he's setting Larry Elder up to be this Uncle Tom or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. It's
pretty clear.
He's calling him out here.
Yep, he's setting him up. He thinks he's
it's a wake-up call.
Yep, because I'm about to give it to you here, Larry Elder, you conservative Republican showing up on my show. That's the vibe I'm getting from this setup. Yep.
Now watch Elder turn the tables on.
They're brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Brother.
I'm just asking. You think you've ever had
I'm acutely aware, Charlamagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. Mm-hmm. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. Ooh, how dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you got to think a certain kind of way. I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things like that. But what I did say,
you just not talk about a wake-up call, and it seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part to have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney. Because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
I mean, no, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you about your party affiliation. I'm just saying, but you are black. And to have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say, think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black? Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
Well, listen
what I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black. 20% of black men, as I said, voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Are they not black now? So only 80% of black men walking around are really black, 20% are not because they voted for Donald Trump. How insulting is that? How condescending is that?
I mean, you're probably right, but I didn't take it in that way.
I did.
As I said to him in that moment, it's just about me wanting something for my people, and I want to know what is he going to do for my people, and not only for my people now, how are you going to atone for the things you've done to my people?
Right.
That's it.
Right, and this is a guy, Joe Biden, who, when he first got into the Senate, hung out with segregationists, talked about how well he got along with them. Talked about how he didn't want integration because of the jungle. This guy has made all sorts of insulting things to black people, and his policies right now are hurting black people. Inflation hurts the people at the bottom more than anything else. Letting a bunch of illegal aliens into the border are hurting black people more than anybody else, as I said earlier. He's opposed to school choice when he has his own kids in private school, and we lost a year, almost 2 years of in-school education in California because of COVID that he supported. I mean, this guy has done monstrous things to black people, and then for him to come in here and tell you how you ought to think as a black person, that blew my mind.
So and you just sat there with no doubt about it.
Wow. What a beatdown. On his own show.
Yeah, on his own show.
That's
and now,
fantastic.
The only thing Larry could have done at the end was, now wait a minute, you had a question. Do you want to get back to that? Or?
Yeah, right.
What were you asking about this N wake-up call?
Larry Elder, as of this article written 3 days ago, has not yet qualified for the Wednesday night GOP debate.
Wow.
Got to get him in there.
Yeah.
Got to get him in there.
So great.
It's a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame.
Yeah.
You have to have 1% of the vote, though.
Or a lot of
or a bunch of donors
or something, which is how they're doing the dollar
40,000 donors or whatever, I think.
Yeah, Larry should have done the gift card thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still waiting for mine, Francis Suarez. I mean, that is the only political donation I've ever made. And it was just,
is it really?
That was a while ago, too. You should have had that by now.
I gave you $1, bro. Where's my 20, Francis?
Wow.
So where it stands now
is... It's a scam.
I almost hope Keith doesn't get it.
What?
Nothing. I was.
Why are you rooting against me? A $19 profit. So Doug Burgum, who originated the idea of the gift card.
Yeah, no doubt.
He is apparently qualified for Wednesday night, along with DeSantis, Haley, Scott, Ramaswamy, obviously Donald Trump, who is still being coy on whether or not he'll show up. We don't know about Suarez. I guess we're having conflicting information on that. Yeah, well, send your gift card. Now, Chris Christie, Mike Pence, they've said that they've qualified, but we haven't confirmed that. Yeah. Now here's the three that we know haven't qualified yet. Asa Hutchinson. How do you have a debate without Asa?
I don't know.
You can't.
Larry Elder.
Okay.
Who says he's close? Come on, y'all. And I didn't know this guy was running for president. Representative Will Hurd.
Will Hurd.
That's what in this article from CBS News.
Have we mentioned Will Hurd?
I think so. When he first started running, right?
Will Hurd.
And who is he?
Somebody.
That's right. As Martin just reminded me, we only care about the ratings, and so that's why we haven't mentioned Will Hurd yet. I'll bet the Hurd people are pissed.
They are.
Sorry.
In fact,
I mean, you got to mention when he did it. I'm pretty sure we did. I feel like we did mention him. I feel like we did. Yeah, when he first got into the race.
Where's that businessman who? Remember we played the clip of the guy who's running for office and. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, grab Chris's board off the wall there, Martin. Who's the guy on there? You see, who's the guy? The business guy with the goofy ass smile. What's his name? No, I don't know. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
You don't remember us playing the goofy ad where he talked about how he's made businesses succccessful? You loved him. You loved his goofy smile. And
so this Will Hurd was a Texas representative, 23rd Congressional District.
Okay.
Former CIA. And I mean that's
he does not sound familiar.
When I look at his picture, he does not sound familiar at all. So maybe we did. No, we want to apologize.
Perry Johnson, by the way, is the goofball that.
Okay. Perry Johnson.
You don't remember?
No, not really.
This guy right here. Come on now. We played a 2-minute infomercial.
Oh yeah.
With this guy.
Okay. Sort of.
We've lost Pat on Perry Johnson.
I'm still
Maybe
trying
that's
to.
what I was thinking of.
I'm trying to come to grips with Will Hurd and his camping. Now you're throwing Perry Johnson at me too.
Wow.
I can't. Can't. Too much.
I mean, Jamar's also reminds us, kind of piggyback. We talk about these candidates and stuff, and we don't give ample time to DeSantis, I guess, if you recall yesterday's.
I do recall.
Jam Jars says that he also notices that we never shut up about mothers, and we should
back to Bill, right? Call her Bill.
Call her Bill.
Probably talk about fathers
From I think the 2014 Mother's Day show.
Say 10 years ago.
Yeah,
at
it's
least.
easily 10 years.
That's a Pat and Stu throwback. If you're not familiar,
that's so great.
Really fun.
Because I know we always have new members of the audience, but basically the Friday before Mother's Day, a guy called up railing against Pat and Stu for not talking about fathers more
because it was Mother's Day and we were talking about mothers. Isn't that great? We said, well, give us until Father's Day. We'll talk about fathers. I'm pretty sure, but it wasn't soon enough for him.
And that did not satisfy Bill.
No, it did not.
Good times.
All right, let me tell you about preborn. We're experiencing the impact of abortion in our lives and the breakdown of families and all the trauma that comes from a woman being pressured into having an abortion. The steep decline of morality that justifies this atrocity. So how are we going to respond? Are we just going to sit back and say, it's too contentious an issue, which is what we did for a while. And I'm just ashamed of that. I'm glad we woke up and started talking about it because a big difference has been made now since we've been talking about it, since people have taken on this issue and don't just sit back anymore. You can continue to help save babies' lives. Preborn offers free ultrasounds to women, but they need your help to do that. It costs $28 to show the woman one ultrasound. Now, when they see the ultrasound, they're about twice as likely, more than twice as likely to then choose life because you understand. That's life inside of you. One ultrasound is $28. 5 is $144 if you could afford that. Just dial pound 250. Say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-933-93. You know what would make your weekend go a lot better is if you order a dozen cookies from Kexi.com.
You mean when I'm sitting down to watch Spain take on England in the Women's World Cup final on Sunday?
Ain't nothing better than having a bunch of cookies to eat while you watch that.
Finally got to the last game, did we?
Yes, we did.
Ooh,
is it? It's finally the championship?
Final, baby. Yeah.
All right.
Woo.
Yeah, can you imagine?
We got there. Spain taking on England.
What time? Let me set my alarm. I bet it's early.
6 a.m.
Yeah, let me get that.
6 a.m. Sunday morning.
Here, I'm just going to set my alarm right now.
It might actually be a good game to watch.
Tick, 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 tick. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm going to wake up for it. See, I just set my alarm.
Right now, by the way, right now at Kexi.com, Kexi, we're running a 15% off back-to-school discount.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a bigger deal than
all the way through
Jeffy. It's not a bigger deal than the Jeffy.
I'm
nothing's
told
bigger than
we
the Jeffy.
deactivated for now the Jeffy thing, because if you use the Jeffy and the 15%, that's 33%, and I'm sorry. You had the 15 with the 8, and that's 30 cents.
So if we put the 18-minute together along with the 7-minute together, you got 22 minutes.
You got 22
minutes. Ads, you got 30 minutes.
Right.
Oh, it's 15 off?
Yeah,
So
15% off.
Oh, I misheard.
Yeah, not 50. 15% off.
Okay.
And we also have 3 different flavors of mini cookies. You can purchase them in a box of 24. You can get 12 chocolate chip, 6 snickerdoodle, 6 peanut butter crunch mini cookies.
That sounds so good.
Oh, man. Yeah. The mini cookies are about half the size of our normal full meal cookie.
That's why you call them mini?
Yeah, that's why we call them mini.
Oh, I'm glad you came to my side. The full meal cookie.
And pretty soon, we're going to be out of the Biscoff cookie that we did, which is so unbelievably delicious. You like the Biscoff cookie cracker thing? Yeah. Oh, okay. Why do I ask you?
Did I hear a peanut butter crunch in there, though?
Yes. You did hear that?
Well, then.
We got the Hawaiian pineapple coconut, and my favorite right now is the raspberry lemonade. So it's the last few days to get in on that.
That is really
Kexi.com, Kexi.com. Go there. Try it.
And they are not a full meal for real human beings.
No, it's a Kexi and a beer.
Uh-huh. Oh.
I've made this very clear.
Okay.
It's the cookie that eats like a meal.
It sure is.
With a beer.
Okay. All right. So we've got some helpers that are helping us out on our our Friday conspiracy shows. For one thing, you can email us at conspiraciesattheblaze.com. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, conspiraciesattheblaze.com. If you've got a conspiracy you'd like us to tackle next week, it's the young Earth theory.
Okay.
So that creation is only, we were created 7,000 years ago, right?
Like
so the Earth is pretty young.
Okay.
Comparable, when you're comparing it to 28 billion years, 7,000 isn't that many. It's like brand new. But we did an Oklahoma City show.
Which was really fascinating.
2 months ago or whatever?
Yeah, that was excellent. That was the end of May, I believe.
And then somebody found some more information and sent this our way.
Yeah, it's an interesting video. There's a lot of stuff in here that we haven't heard.
Okay, so check this out. This is on Oklahoma City. Do we have time for this here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Are you the Oklahoma City bomber?
Maybe one of the benefits of me talking to you today is that you'll see that maybe not everything is true that you've heard about me.
On the morning of April 19th, 1995, a decorated Gulf War combat vet blew up the federal building in Oklahoma City using a truck bomb that he didn't build in a Ryder truck that he didn't rent with the help of a passenger who didn't exist. Having just gotten away with the largest act of terrorism on U.S. soil to date, the Fort Bragg-trained Special Forces Sheep Drip Dropout blended in with the crowd by making his getaway in a car without a license plate and was immediately pulled over. The ATF was the supposed target of the attack, but luckily all of their agents were out of the office that morning.
Yep.
Later that day, the president boldly declared,
"We will find the people who did this.
And
when we do, justice will be swift, certain, and severe."
Think about it.
Except for
John Doe number 2.
John Doe number 2.
John Doe number 2.
who, according to the FBI, never existed. In McVeigh's unprecedented 3.5-week trial, the prosecution didn't show the CCTV footage of him and John Doe number 2 parking the Ryder truck. Didn't explain why 24 separate witnesses mass hallucinated the existence of John Doe number 2.
24.
Didn't explain why the government was testing truck bombs and the Army was storing Ryder trucks at Camp Gruber right before the bombing.
Wait, what?
And didn't talk to the FBI informants who blew the whistle.
This is going by way too fast.
We didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if that was even on the show, was it?
No, it was not.
It was not. That's what I'm saying.
No,
There's stuff in here that I'm like, wait.
I've not seen that.
I'm already convinced that the government is a major player in this.
I've not seen that footage.
And now we've got more to digest here.
And there's footage of it.
There might have to be an Oklahoma City Part 2.
Wow. It might need its own podcast show, its own show. All right, well,
roll this back 10 or 20 seconds so we can hear that again, because that went by fast, and it's pretty important.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's see this.
Explain why 24 separate witnesses mass hallucinated the existence of John Doe number 2.
Right.
Didn't explain why the government was testing truck bombs and the Army was storing Ryder trucks at Camp Gruber right before the bombing.
What?
And didn't talk to the FBI informants who blew the whistle on the plot.
That's
okay,
fact.
pause
But
it.
they did collaborate.
We need to finish this and delve into it. So we're going to come back on the other side with it, because we got a network break coming up here.
And wow. the blonde chick, they just started to, he just mentioned, I didn't talk to people that, I mean, there were people that lived at this compound that knew McVeigh and knew of threats and told the FBI. And the FBI is like, I mean, they have never. When is the FBI's track record? I don't know how far back you need to go, but do they ever take serious threats seriously? No. But they show up at freaking school board meetings in Catholic churches.
Yeah.
That they'll be a part of.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that right now.
It sure is.
And what's
it's hard to argue about.
We got
that.
another story today. Remember, first of all, last week we had Salt Lake City. And now we're doing it again in Tennessee with the FBI.
Yeah.
Just stop it. Dismantle it. That's why when someone like Vivek Ramaswamy says, day one, there's no FBI in our administration, people like me go, oh, I'm listening. What's that?
Nice to see you're on the take from Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah, no kidding.
And his campaign.
That was a
and
newsworthy...
just a blatant grab for ratings.
No kidding.
Man, are you transparent,
I was
Keith?
just referencing a newsworthy thing that he said.
Okay, mister.
All right.
Did you see him on Tucker's interview, too?
How much he pay you? How much he pay you for that reference right there? How much? How much you make for that, Keith?
Can we talk about fathers on this show ever?
No, because we only care about mothers. All right, more. Pat Gray, we got to get through this video coming up next. Yep. Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and Instagram and Threads, wherever else. And then, of course, Tribal. Would love for you to Tribal. Yeah.
We're not up on Tribal, though. Right?
No, we are not. Okay. No, nor will we.
We're probably the only media entity that isn't blazing trails over there right now.
Yeah, probably. So we got to get to this Oklahoma City thing. It is. We've been stunned. Should we start from the beginning or pick it up where it is?
Either way, whatever. I mean, that footage of the government testing exploding Ryder trucks and rental trucks, I never seen that before.
Yeah. I haven't either. Never heard that. So let's just start fresh here. Okay. We did this Oklahoma City show, I don't know, a month or two.
It was
probably 2 months ago.
If you want to go back, hang on, this is important. If people want to go back to Pat Gray Unleashed on May 26th.
Okay.
It's one of the I've been in radio since 1992, and I'm so proud of that. That might be the most proud I am of a show that I've been a part of. I think it was an excellent show. We covered a lot of ground.
Including the show you did interviewing me?
I said one of.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I'd say
it's one of the number one shows that he's ever been a part of. To coin a Jeffy phrase.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's that.
Yeah.
There is.
There's more in here. There's more in here for sure.
All right. Let's see this from the top.
2. Didn't explain why the government was testing truck bombs and the Army was storing Ryder trucks at Camp Gruber.
Can we just go back to the beginning or not? I think we can, right? Do we have the technology? We can make it better than it was. Better, stronger, faster. All right, here it is.
$6 million man.
Are you the Oklahoma City bomber?
Maybe one of the benefits of me talking to you today is that you'll see that maybe not everything is true that you've heard about me.
On the morning of April 19th, 1995, a decorated Gulf War combat vet blew up the federal building in Oklahoma City using a truck bomb that he didn't build and a Ryder truck that he didn't rent with the help of a passenger who didn't exist. Having just gotten away with the largest act of terrorism on U.S. soil to date, the Fort Bragg-trained Special Forces Sheep Drip Dropout blended in with the crowd by making his getaway in a car without a license plate and was immediately pulled over. The ATF was the supposed target of the attack, but luckily all of their agents were out of the office that morning.
Luckily.
Later that day, the president boldly declared,
We will find the people who did this.
And
when we do, justice will be swift, certain, and severe.
Except for
John Doe number 2.
John Doe number 2.
John Doe number 2.
Who, according to the FBI, never existed. In McVeigh's unprecedented 3.5-week trial, the prosecution didn't show the CCTV footage of him and John Doe number 2 parking the Ryder truck. Didn't explain why 24 separate witnesses mass hallucinated the existence of John Doe number 2. Didn't explain why the government was testing truck bombs and the Army was storing Ryder trucks at Camp Gruber right before the bombing.
Okay,
and didn't talk to the FBI informants who blew the whistle on the plot.
Wow.
But they did collaborate with the CIA, and they did convict McVeigh as the lone wolf bomber and Terry Nichols as his bomb-constructing accomplice. Still, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists, including 300 bombing victims, insist on talking about facts and evidence and refuse to simply believe what they've been told a million times by people in tailored suits with well-coiffed hair. They quote the U.S. Army Brigadier General and the FBI crime lab whistleblower and the inventor of the neutron bomb who point out the physical impossibility that the Ryder truck bomb did the damage to the building. But that doesn't matter because if there were other bombs in the building that day, we would have heard about them.
The second explosive was found and defused. I think he said another bomb.
The Justice Department is reporting that a second explosive device has been found.
They then found a third device, which was also larger than the first.
And I see another bomb truck going, so apparently they're going to try to get out that third bomb.
The FBI claims to have lost the footage showing McVeigh and John Doe number 2 parking the truck in front of the Murrah building that morning, but that's understandable because the Bureau has a lot of important evidence to store. Terry Nichols insists the FBI was involved in the plot, but thankfully a judge has saved us the trouble of listening to him by preventing lawyers from deposing him. There was a bomb squad truck parked across the street 2 hours before the blast, but that just shows the authorities were prepared for anything. And
other documents obtained by 2020 show that someone called the Executive Secretariat's office at the Justice Department in Washington and said the Morrow building had been bombed. But this was 24 minutes before the blast.
But that just shows the public was unusually vigilant that morning.
Pause it. Wait, did we hear that on the conspiracy show?
I don't recall that.
There's another new item.
No, two things so far that we have not I've not seen before.
The testing truck bombs, and now this.
They were told.
They were told 24 minutes in advance of the federal building got bombed. Wait, what? It hadn't happened yet. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Weird. All right, let's see the rest.
And
other documents obtained by 2020 show that someone called the Executive Secretariat's office at the Justice Department in Washington and said the Morrow building had been bombed. But this was 24 minutes before the blast.
My gosh.
But that just shows the public was unusually vigilant that morning.
Yeah, okay.
Also,
apparently, before the bombing, Governor Frank Keating's brother, Mark, had been working on a novel about a terrorist bombing in Oklahoma City. Stranger still, one of the characters in the novel was named Thomas McVeigh.
But that's probably just a coincidence.
Oh, no!
McVeigh wrote a letter to his sister where he admitted to being a secret special agent.
There's another new item flashing on the screen. New item. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, no.
Oh, that could be just coincidence.
But it was Thomas McVeigh, so they got it completely wrong.
Right.
It was Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, why did we feel the need to pause there?
So that was nothing.
That was a throwaway line from the guy who made this video.
That's like the dumb Nostradamus thing where he predicted there'd be a Histler. No Histler ever rose up in Europe and did bad things.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there's more.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
apparently, before the bombing, Governor Frank Keating's brother, Mark, had been working on a novel about a terrorist bombing in Oklahoma City. Stranger still, one of the characters in the novel was named Thomas McVeigh.
But that's probably just a coincidence. McVeigh wrote a letter to his sister where he admitted to being a secret special forces operative, and he complained to friends of the pain in his ass from an Army-implanted microchip. But that's crazy, because if he didn't actually leave the Army in 1991, there would be proof of that.
Oh, there he is in 93.
McVeigh was not executed on May 16th, 2001 as scheduled because
The FBI had failed to turn over thousands of pages of evidence to McVeigh's defense attorneys.
But the execution went ahead on June 11th.
They didn't care.
In a highly unusual and secret agreement, no autopsy was performed. One witness said he was still breathing, and the prison officials admitted his hearse was a decoy. Then, the case was officially closed. What? But if you question any part of this story, you are a paranoid, wingnut, birther, truther, tenther, prepper, conspiracy loon who'd bring up any of these points ever again. Ever. This message has been brought to you by the friends of the FBI, ATF, DOJ, CIA, SPLC, MSM, and the U.S. Army.
Okay, good stuff,
remember,
right?
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
They betrayed this country. They played on our fears.
Yep.
It sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Sure does.
That's what Al Gore said about George W. Bush, but...
sure does.
You go back to, what was that, 1995? The bombing, or 1994?
95.
Yeah, 1995. Yeah. So Bill Clinton, obviously in office at the time. This doesn't belong to one party or the other. This is just...
And if you recall, the Republicans had just had a very nice showing in the midterms in 94. Talk radio was really strong, and...
well, yeah, they blamed talk radio, right?
They blamed Rush. Oh, they did?
Rush.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, for this?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I know. Interesting, isn't it? Is there a number people can call, Ivan?
There is.
Oh, my gosh, that's unbelievable. That was just jam-packed full of new stuff. I mean, there was 3 or 4 items I'd never heard of. And how is that possible?
And
almost
again,
30 years later now, we still haven't heard a lot of those things, except from this guy just now. Yeah, and then he backs up everything he says with the video or the audio clip of it. That was well done. He went by a little too fast, because I'd like, you should let that breathe a little bit, because people have to understand what it is you're saying, but it goes by so quickly.
So we're tweeting that out at Pat Unleashed if you'd like to see that for yourself.
Jeez.
I mean, the argument to that is that that's just not true. All of it's just not true.
Well, that's why I'm convinced.
Right, that's what I mean. Okay. Oh, okay.
What do you mean it's not true? They show you the evidence.
Yeah, it's not true. It's all made up.
Yeah. I mean, it is true that there were 24 witnesses of the John Doe number 2 that just
went away.
Were crazy. They were just stupid or wrong or something. They all saw the guy, but then the guy didn't exist. No, they didn't. No, they didn't see it. Wait, what? Are you from the Biden administration? I am not here. Wait,
they were storing.
I see you right in front of me.
We did talk about how the ATF was storing all their weapons and explosives.
We did talk about that. Yeah,
that they weren't supposed to.
There were extra explosives too that were in the building, and obviously some of them went off.
Right, and they've never explained legitimately that there's no way that truck bomb could have done the damage it did.
Right. It's
impossible.
Physically impossible.
And then ATF agents, lying that they were in the elevator, and the elevator folks said,
no.
Nice try.
No.
Anyway, I encourage y'all to go back and listen to the May 26th episode.
Yeah, holy cow.
Of Pat Gray Unleashed.
I mean, we may have to do...
there might have to be a follow-up there, because that's some crazy information there. Whew. All right. Speaking of great information... this is something I think you're going to love. It's called Bank on Yourself. It's a system that doesn't go backward with your money. Wall Street tells you to put your money in an IRA or a 401k, and then they say risking your life savings in the Wall Street casino is secure. That's a great investment for the future. But studies show the average American who follows that advice will outlive their savings by 10 years. So that doesn't really go very well. Why are you being lied to? Because they're making money from you. That's why. Now, the Bank on Yourself system is a better way to grow and protect your hard-earned money. This retirement plan alternative has never had a losing year in over 160 years. So you get guaranteed predictable growth and retirement income. You're in complete control, and your plan doesn't go backward when the markets tumble. Your principal and interest are both locked in. So it gives you real peace of mind. If you want guaranteed, predictable annual growth, control of your money, and tax-free retirement income, go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed, and they'll send you a free report with the proven retirement plan alternative that banks and Wall Street are desperately hoping you never hear about. Just go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed. Get your free report. Bankonyourself.com/unleashed. Do that today.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So you have that posted where?
If people go to @PatUnleashed on Twitter, you'll see the Oklahoma City video we just played.
Okay. Do they have to have high-speed internet connection to do that?
It would help.
It would?
It would help.
Because I understand that when it's not high-speed, it's a problem.
My name is Rhonda Locklear.
Like Rhonda
I'm from
told us about.
Pembroke,
She's from
and
Pembroke.
I'm a member of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 children, and like any mother,
Are they retired
I want the
yet?
best for my boys. Jacob, my oldest, is a transferring student to UNC Pembroke,
Okay.
and Isaac is in the 8th grade at Pembroke Middle School.
Yeah.
Like most families across the state
Or
who
the
either
country.
don't have access to high-speed internet
Uh-huh.
who can't afford it.
Right.
We were stuck with dial-up service in our home
They were stuck with
until
it.
2 months ago.
Well, until 2 months ago. And
I
about
feel that this has
13,
put my
14 years.
family,
At a
my
severe-
sons in particular,
At a severe
at a severe disadvantage.
Yeah, yeah. It has.
Isaac depends on the internet to complete his assignments for school.
Well,
He often uses the
what?
internet
Often.
to work on reports,
Anything else?
projects,
Anything else?
or often, at
Porn.
times, to just do research.
I just do research on porn.
I watch him struggle with the dial-up service.
Oh, no.
And observed him get frustrated
He got
because he could not move around on the web like he likes.
Okay, there's a reason I only played it up until that point. See if you can figure out what that reason is.
To that point.
Yeah, to where she says, like he likes.
Like he likes.
Yeah, so there you go. Can we be any more obvious that we haven't finished up the bingo card yet?
Oh my gosh,
can we be
what?
Any more? I know.
I didn't
right?
pick up on that at all.
But I did want to mention, next week, we just did that Oklahoma City show was May 26th. That's amazing. It's been that long already.
It sure is.
Well, next week we're doing the Young Earth show, which I can't wait for. We've got somebody from the Young Earth Museum, right? What do they call the museum? Anybody remember right offhand?
ICCR?
Yeah, okay.
International Creation
Research Center or something
like that.
Something like that. And so somebody from there will be here, right? In studio, I think, next week?
As far as I know.
I think the head guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool. That should be fun. So rather than being, 4.5 billion years old, they believe the Earth to be 7,000 years old. Slightly younger.
Make their case.
Yeah, make the case. They actually make a pretty good case.
They do. They make a really good case.
So it should be fun. And then the next Friday Conspiracy Show will be focusing on the Las Vegas shooting.
Yeah, that's September 28th. 28th? Yeah, I think.
We're never going to get to Oklahoma City bombing 2. Never.
I think we might. I think it's possible. It could very well happen. All right. There's an IRS agent that just killed a fellow agent at a Phoenix shooting range. We don't have all the details on this, though, do we?
They're shooting each other now?
Yeah. Yeah. See, here's the thing. You become an accountant with a gun when you join the IRS. So that's exciting to accountants everywhere. They're like, yeah, that appeals to me.
When you see the little newspaper ad.
Yes. Then you become an IRS agent. What was the
With
show
a
I was
gun.
watching where the guy was? It was, I don't know. It was part of a documentary on, it was the steroids. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, the guy that went after the guy who was providing the steroids.
Right. And didn't provide them to Barry Bonds, even though everybody thinks he did.
That's what he says,
He
right?
says he didn't. And he narcs on everybody else, so I don't know why he'd protect Barry Bonds as opposed to not protecting everybody else. I don't know. But it's never been proven that Barry Bonds did roids, as far as I know. But he'll never be in the Hall of Fame, I'm guessing. At least not until we overcome this thing. Now, don't you think it's not a big deal that they're doing roids?
I do. It's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop it. And baseball was it was a big uptick in viewership during the Royd days.
Oh,
because
with the
people
McGuire-Sosa thing?
People liked the hit show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
The hit
Absolutely.
show was fun.
It brought baseball back because if
Yes,
you
it
remember,
did.
a few years prior to that, they had the lockout.
Yeah.
And
everybody was mad at them.
They were pissed, and the fans weren't coming back until that Sosa McGuire.
And now we're trying to bring people back by shortening the games. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. I don't mind it. I like the pitch clock. I like all of that. But the hit show was fun. Is all I'm saying.
It really was. Yeah, it really was.
So-
and we haven't had since the Bonds 73 home runs in a season thing. We really haven't had a really good home run derby like that.
No, we have not. And
why?
Oh, we had Aaron
'cause-
Judge last year getting the.
Oh yeah, how many did he get?
Oh, he broke the American League record. Did he get up to 63 or something? I forget. Right here in Texas.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good for Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again. So, great job, Aaron.
That's a lot of home runs.
I
though.
know it is.
That's a lot.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
But
at one time, that would
again-
have been a really big deal. But nobody paid attention to it, really. Did maybe more than I.
Yeah, the baseball fans all loved
62
it.
is what he landed on. Because I know Mickey Mantle hit 60 in the same year that Roger Maris hit 61. And so, yeah, Aaron Judge, 62.
Okay. All right. But back to the original point here. An IRS agent shooting another IRS agent.
Gosh, man.
They're calling it inadvertent.
Okay.
So was it a mistake?
I'm looking. I don't see any new details. So
weird. But they're looking into this shooting incident right now.
So it was at a range with a bunch of agencies where all they're practicing and stuff. And oh man, you always hear you really should let law enforcement be the ones that carry weapons and stuff. They're so well trained and they're great. I don't know how you get shot at a shooting range unless you're doing something very stupid, which would make you think that the government is stupid. I mean, it's a stretch. And why are we giving accountants guns?
Yeah,
So
I don't
they're practicing
understand
on
that.
themselves for what they want to do to us.
Oof, yeah. Very strange. Let's go to Bell in New Jersey. Bell might have something to say. Can't do it?
Okay. Put Bell back on hold. There we go.
There we go.
We're ready.
Now.
Put her up.
Bell?
Yes?
Are you there?
There you go.
Yes.
Hi. Hi,
Oh
Bell.
my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
Bingo.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Nicely done. Where did your bingo happen?
Right down the center
Okay.
with Lackey Lax.
Lackey Lax.
And Cinnamon Music.
Mm-hmm.
Why Am I Not Wearing Any Pants?
Right.
Buzzer. And He Played on Our Fears.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it.
Are you trying to not wake someone up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I talking low?
Yeah, let's hear you really mean it on He Played on Our Fears. I want you to sound like Al Gore.
I don't think I can sound like Al Gore.
He played on our fears. You just have to lisp at the end.
There it is.
And kind of
There it
rasp
is.
it out. All right. Well, Bell, thanks for listening. We get you set up with all the stuff, or should we put you back on hold?
No, we're good. Thank you so much.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your listening. All right.
Appreciate it.
So she wins $30 worth of merch from PatGrayShop.com and a dozen Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. K-E-K-S-I.
Go.
All right. And you just see that we neglected it during the week, and then we had to jam it all in.
It's a tough week.
It was a tough
to
week.
come up with these, you know?
Yeah, it was. But a fun one. So we got a couple of songs here to finish off the day.
I don't think we have time.
We don't have time now, do we?
You'll have to sign up for overtime at BlazeTV.com.
man.
Use
We'll have
the
to get to
promo code Beast Mode, one word.
Oh, yeah, you'll save $30.
That's right.
Today's it. Today's the last day for that.
Yeah, last day.
Because
Do
our
we have
manager
time to
comes back.
show the purported prison cell January 6th defendant who has been in this cell for now 2.5 years? Because
this is the one he's been in the whole time?
Well, they keep transferring him around to I think 17 locations, and it's the same setup everywhere. This is your America. This is your Joe Biden America. This is your new reality. This is the insanity of living under a Marxist regime. There it is.
So
that's his world right there.
I mean, that cell is...
He says that they've tortured him to try to get him to rat out the Proud Boys. If you'll recall, that the Proud Boys, they're trying to get 27 to 33 years prison sentences for them. This is it. I mean, this is our America. This is the new world that Oliver Anthony speaks of in his song.
Oh, he's got a water. He's got a pad.
Okay. Oh, he's got a bucket.
He's got a bucket to poop and pee.
He's got a mop bucket to poop and pee in.
Yep.
I mean,
what more do you need?
Hello?
What more do you need? He's got underwear on, so or shorts, I guess. He's got no shirt, no shoes, no service. So he's not getting food because he's not wearing shoes or a shirt. So
that is
ridiculous.
That's
what we've heard.
It's a January 6th prisoner, Ryan Samsel.
That's what we've heard. Yeah. And now there's actual documentation of it.
It looks like it's maybe 7 feet long and 2.5, 3 feet wide.
Yeah. It is.
I mean, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Has that guy even been convicted? Do we know which one that is?
No, he's waiting. I mean,
he's still waiting for trial?
Where is our...
are those the same type of cells down in Guantanamo?
No.
Are those the same type of cells?
No.
I'm sure the ACLU...
Guantanamo's like the plaza.
ACLU, you'll see those pictures. Amnesty International, they'll be like, hey, we got to go talk. What are you doing here? Yeah. Human Rights Watch, they'll be down there in a second to help out, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's your government.
Seriously.
That's who's in charge.
Guantanamo's 4 seasons compared to that crap. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Evil American citizens.
Well, we've got overtime coming up. Hopefully you signed up for it. We'll see you then. Have a great weekend.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.